Warning, this podcast contains themes of extreme violence and murder. Subject matter may be offensive to some listeners. Discretion advised.
Welcome to another episode of Evil Transgression, your homicide headquarters here in podcasting. I'm Josh, and with me as always, Dustin and Rex.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
We're going to the state of Florida today, gentlemen. Sunny Florida.
Ooh, I love Florida.
Yeah, that'd be a lot better than up here right now.
Yeah, because I'm looking out the window at snow, and I'm about tired of it.
And you know what else?
What?
Tomorrow.
What?
It's going to be negative.
Oh, yeah, for a few days
Yeah.
this week. So it's colder now than what it was last month.
Yeah.
And we've gotten more snow. I don't think we got any snow last month. We did on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last month, just rain. Now we're going to get snow.
Can't wait.
I tried to avoid this whole snow fiasco
Me
because
too.
I got a snowblower this year during Christmas.
Lucky.
And usually when I get something like that, it's never going to get used. Like I'll buy a snowblower and boom, hey, no snow for the next 7 years. That was my plan. Didn't work out that way. It did for a few days, you know.
So you got to use it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, no, because I'm pretty sure I broke my neck.
Oh,
I realized getting old is not for the faint of heart.
no.
You know.
And I'm out there shoveling, with a shovel. So, the
that's-
back definitely hurts a little bit afterwards.
Yeah. Getting old is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Stop being cheap, Rex.
I mean, if you're going to buy me one.
Yeah. Just don't go and buy one of those ones that look like a broom. Have you seen those?
Yes.
Don't do that. You'd still be out there for 8 hours shoveling a 6-foot driveway. But yeah, let's go to sunny Florida today
Let's do it.
and discuss Thomas Overton, who is really going to turn out to be a pretty big dumbass.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
But before we go there,
Yeah,
we got some Patreons.
we do.
We do.
We do?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let us know.
Yeah.
All right.
Who we got? How many?
We got 3 new ones.
3.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got LC.
And thank you, Elsa.
Thank you.
We got Lisa.
Lisa in
Thank
the
you,
house.
Lisa.
And we got Anastasia.
Nice.
Thank you.
Anastasia.
Yeah. So,
Good deal.
thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Yep, thanks.
So with that, are you ready to rock?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Buckle up, Evil Mob, as we discuss Thomas Overton. Towards the end of the summer in 1991, a southern Florida community was rocked with tragedy. On August 22nd, 1991, concerned neighbors and co-workers notified police to do a welfare check on a couple who lived in the Tavernier Key neighborhood. Police found the bodies of Susan and Michael McIver. Susan was 8 months pregnant. Michael McIver's body was found in the living room, dressed in just a t-shirt and underwear. The living room in shambles. Michael's head had been wrapped in masking tape, with only part of his nose being exposed. A small amount of blood was on the t-shirt, and the nostrils showed a small amount of blood as well. Michael's neck was bruised. In the master bedroom, Susan McIver was found on top of the comforter. She was naked with her ankles tied up with a belt, tape, and a piece of clothesline. Her wrists were bound with a belt, and a third belt was used to bound her ankles and her wrists. A necktie and a black scarf was tied around Susan McIver's neck, and her eyes had been covered with tape. Her nightshirt had been ripped off, and her panties had been cut away. Seminal fluids were recovered from the body and the bedding around the body. A .22 caliber shell casing was found in the bedroom and a bullet hole in the bedroom curtain.
So only in the curtain?
Yes. Now that's going to come back to be kind of weird because we really have no explanation of this.
Yeah.
Now the sliding glass doors in the bedroom were open. In a guest bedroom, there were also sliding glass doors that were open. A ladder was propped up against the house near the guest bedroom balcony, which is where the investigators believe the suspect gained entry. The clothesline from the balcony had been cut, and part of it was found near the master bedroom door. Now remember, she also was tied up with a piece of the clothesline as well.
Right.
The phone lines to the home were also cut. So, brutal murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
This is definitely a planned murder.
Yes. But I mean, this guy is a tape maniac, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
He has stock, apparently, in flex tape.
A tape maniac.
I mean, it is odd. Not duct tape, but masking tape. Of all things, masking tape is really not the strongest tape, but
No.
he wrapped Michael McIver's head with masking tape. I mean, almost like a mummy. All is sticking out is a piece of his nose. Just brutal.
Yeah, it is.
And then he had covered her eyes with tape. Autopsy showed that Michael McIver suffered severe blunt force trauma to the back of his head. He had been strangled, and there was also severe trauma to his throat as if someone had stomped on it or stood on it.
Jesus.
That'll do the trick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason of the taping around his head was to make sure his eyes didn't pop out.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah.
His cause of death was reported as asphyxiation, the same as Susan McIver. The medical examiner stated that the male child had tried to breathe while in the womb, basically drowning. The child died approximately 30 minutes after the death of his mother. That's brutal.
Yeah.
That is.
So basically what they're saying there is had this not happened, they would have had a healthy baby boy. Right?
Right.
But because some maniac came in, taped everybody up, and killed someone,
Right.
this child drowned in the mother's womb. I mean, suffocated.
Yeah.
However you want to say it. Investigators were unable to recover semen DNA from Susan's body. This was due to the windows and sliding glass doors being open. There had been a storm the night before, and the moist air had settled into the house and contaminated the samples. The DNA was recovered, however, from the bedding, but the DNA didn't have any matches when ran through the database. So we're, really having no evidence to go on, right?
Right.
I mean, you have evidence, but nothing's giving you a suspect.
Right.
Michael McIver was a pilot and flew often to Central America quite often, and investigators initially believed a possible connection to the drug trade had brought the killer to the McIver's home. The police even questioned Michael McIver's brother James, who was also a business partner, thinking he may be involved.
Why is that always their first go-to when anybody's killed?
What, drugs?
Drugs.
It's drugs.
Well, I mean, I think they're just reaching for straws here.
Yeah.
Really, with no evidence, you got to look at everything, and the first thing that pops up is, okay, Michael McIver's business was him being a pilot and flying to different areas, and he goes to Central America quite often. Maybe we should look into that, because if you think about it, it's a brutal crime.
Right.
I mean, this wasn't just a random murder, you know what I mean? There's intentions. If you're bringing, stuff to murder these people into the house, then you have every intention of doing what you did.
Right.
Right.
So the police, question James, and they even take a DNA sample from him, but DNA evidence cleared him. So James is not a suspect. The drug cartel theory fell apart, leaving the investigators scrambling for new leads. So they bring in a new investigator. And a new investigator in charge of the case presented a new idea. The manner of the crime indicated that the attack was actually towards Susan, and Michael was just collateral damage. This was because Susan was sexually assaulted and, somebody had taken time with her as opposed to Michael, who just basically got bashed in the head, wrapped up, and, his throat stomped on.
Yeah, yep.
So they were focusing on Michael this whole time. This new investigator comes in and says, hey, wait a minute. It looks more like Susan was actually the target. It wasn't long before the detectives had a suspect. When questioning family members, a story of Susan turning down the advances of a gas station attendant came to light. A local gas station attendant named Thomas Overton. Thomas Overton worked at the Amoco station that was only minutes away from the McIvers' home. He was already on police radar as a suspect in another murder, but was never arrested for it. That was because apparently there was not enough evidence to charge him for the murder. He was also known for breaking and entering and theft, so he does have a criminal background. In April of 1993, police finally bring Thomas Overton in for questioning. Overton denied killing Michael and Susan McIver, but refused to give a DNA sample.
That's suspect.
Yeah, definitely.
With nothing other than suspicion, they could not order him to give a sample. I think that's odd. I don't know the laws behind that. I don't know how it is here. If I'm suspected of a crime and they're like, hey, will you give us a DNA sample? And I'm like, nope. I don't know.
Unless in his head he's thinking, well, I'm going to commit more crimes in the future and I don't want him to have a record on me.
Well, the thing is, even if you don't give them a sample, they'll follow you around.
Oh, yeah.
And wait till you, throw out a cigarette or throw away a drink.
Yeah.
They'll get it from you eventually.
That's what you would think.
They will.
In Florida, they can force a suspect to give a DNA sample if they are convicted of a felony. So all they could do was basically wait for Overton to screw up. So,
I think it would be easier to just follow him.
Would be.
Yeah.
But they're going on the terms of we're going to wait for him to screw up. Now that ends up taking 3 years, because 3 years later, Overton finally made his mistake. In 1996, Thomas Overton let one of his friends know he was going to be breaking into a home. That's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to go break into this house.
Yeah,
telling you for no reason.
And I'm going to tell you ahead of time so that you have time to tell everyone else.
Idiot.
3 days from now, I'm going to go and break into that house over there. But don't tell no one.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know why I told you, but don't tell anybody. So the friend tipped off the police, and Thomas Overton was arrested with felony burglary.
Ooh.
They could finally get their DNA sample.
Good.
The catch was, it would still take a few months for the approval from the court.
Oh, wow.
We got to send in this paperwork, and Steve's got to stop playing golf long enough to sign it.
You know what I'd do?
What?
I'd be talking to him, and I'd be have one of those long Q-tips. And as soon as he went to open his mouth, I'd be stab him in the mouth. Be got it.
I think that the long Q-tip would probably be the best way to go.
That's what I'm thinking.
Just shoot it out of a crossbow in his mouth.
Or just spit a spitball at him.
Make him spit it back?
Yeah.
You do that a lot, or?
Just spit it back and forth.
You got him in custody. There's got to be a way to get it now.
Yeah, hold him down, open his mouth, take a swab, and turn it into whoever checks it.
You really want to try this out.
I'm just saying. It would work.
I like the way that you do business.
What? Straight to the goddamn point.
Straight to the mouth.
Exactly. We're just going to COVID test you right up the pooper. But they wouldn't even need the court approval because Thomas Overton would make yet another stupid mistake.
Surprise.
Thomas Overton had gotten in possession of a razor blade in jail. They apparently was like, oh, you need to shave here. Take this razor. He pulls out the blade and slits his own throat. Now, I'm not a medical examiner genius or a professional in the medical field, but I think it would be pretty difficult to kill yourself by slitting your throat with a disposable razor blade.
It could happen.
I guess it could if you sat there for 8 hours and just chopped
sold away.
If you got the one big vein here,
a jugular.
It might be possible.
So knowing it more than likely won't be fatal, Overton planned to escape either on the way to the hospital or at the hospital. So when Overton was taken to the hospital, he was under the watch of several guards, and he's not going anywhere.
Nope.
But he did leave behind the evidence needed back in his cell. Investigators used the blood-soaked towels in his cell for their DNA samples.
This dude is dumb.
Most of them are.
Like somebody's in there cleaning it up, like, oh man, look at all this mess. And the investigator comes in like, hey, let me get one of those. They came back a match, and Thomas Overton was charged with the murders of Susan and Michael McIver.
Good.
At the trial, an acquaintance of Thomas Overton named William Guy Green testified that Thomas had told him he had to kill someone in the Keys. Another witness was James Zintek, who had been in jail with Overton and claimed he had told him all about the murders.
I don't trust jail informants. You know, they're in it for themselves.
Here's the catch.
Oh.
This guy knows a little bit of details that hasn't been made public.
Oh.
You're about to make me look stupid.
Doesn't take much.
Overton explained he had broken into the house with the intentions of raping Susan McIver. Thomas Overton dressed in all black on the night of August 21st, 1991, and went to the McIver's home. He cut the phone lines, put a ladder against the second-story balcony. Apparently, this made enough noise to stir Michael McIver. Overton climbed the ladder, cut the clothesline, and gained entry into the guest bedroom from the sliding glass doors. Now, if you've ever had a sliding glass door, most people take something and lay something down in the track. You know what I mean?
Yep, I do it.
To where even if it's not locked, it won't slide open.
Right.
Well, that's basically what they did, but somehow Overton gets around this. I don't know if it wasn't down at the time, but he ends up picking up what is used to block that door. And it was basically a pipe is what they had used to lay in that track. So Overton met Michael McIver in the kitchen and hit him in the back of the head with the pipe that had been used to keep the sliding glass door locked.
Dang.
When McIver hit the floor, Thomas Overton then beat him unconscious with his fists. This woke Susan McIver up, and she came running out of the bedroom. She spotted Overton and tried to turn and run back into the bedroom, but he was too quick. He tied up Susan and went back to Michael, afraid that he would wake up. So he takes the time, ties her up with the belts and the clothesline, and then goes back to Michael, who's on the floor. And this is when he wrapped Michael McIver's head with the tape. Overton returned to the bedroom where he raped Susan McIver and strangled her, claiming he didn't want to leave any witnesses. So he does his intended rape, and then he's like, well, I can't leave any witnesses, so strangles her, and then returned to Michael to finish him off as well, because you can't, again, leave any witnesses.
No.
On February 10th, 1999, Thomas Overton was found guilty on all counts. On March 18th, 1999, Overton was sentenced to death.
Deservedly so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is what really bothers me. And I've seen it a lot of times. Like, if you've ever watched any true crime documentaries, I'm a freak for it.
Yeah.
I can't get past. That's what I do. Like, I don't even watch the news or anything anymore because it's all garbage. So I just watch people get killed. I'm like, I don't want to see people get killed on the news. I want to see it on the documentary. But if you've ever seen it, I know you've seen something like this. But as the death sentence was read aloud to the court, Thomas Overton turned to face the families of Susan and Michael McIver and smiled. Now that just fires me up because I've seen it before. I think back to, was it Richard Davis who, as they were finding him guilty, says to the court, like, well, I hurried up and made sure I killed her quick, talking about the little girl, Polly, because she didn't want me to do her like her dad did. You remember when the dad gets mad and storms off? I mean, that is just like the lowest thing. Like, if you do that, I think it should be an automatic. If you're sentenced to death and you do something to that family to like taunt them or anything like that, it should be an automatic. Okay, well, you're going to be sentenced to death, and they're going to be the ones that either push the needle into your vein or turns on the electric to the chair. Or, hey, we'll just give them a baseball bat. Or for you to do something, man, that is the lowest low to me. Several appeals have been made on Thomas Overton's behalf, and all have been unsuccessful. Thomas Overton is currently housed at the Union Correctional Institution in Rayford, Florida. Now here's the crazy theories.
Uh-oh.
Rumors out there say that Thomas Overton actually did not do the murders.
What?
They're saying that the semen samples that were taken had actually shown traces of non-oxynol 9 in them. Now, if you know anything about non-oxynol 9, that is in condoms. It's found on condoms. It's to kill semen. Yep. So but the theory is they don't know if it came from a condom or from cleaning supplies, like he tried to clean up. But what they're saying is, the rumor is that his girlfriend, to frame him, gave a used condom to the police, and they planted that evidence. Wow. Another theory is with that .22 caliber casing that was found and the bullet hole through the curtains. Because they're saying that Thomas Overton has no idea what that is or where it came from. So, was he really the murderer?
I think he was.
I do too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But that's the crazy theory.
I'll stick with he was. He was.
And I'll also stick with the fact that, hey, it's been over 20 years. What are we waiting on, Florida?
Right. Florida's usually fast. I heard a thing the other day that said Florida's average time on death row is 12 years. This dude's over 12 years, Florida. Yeah. Come on. Yep. Come on.
Fire it up.
Come on, DeSantis.
Do it now.
What, I wonder what they're using. Is pretty much every state now lethal injection?
I think so.
Probably.
We need to fix that.
We do.
Like, that should be the first thing that we fix in the criminal justice system. We need to go back to, or at least find a more horrific way.
Yeah, make them feel some pain.
Humane.
I mean, you got to have something out there that is a deterrent.
Yeah.
Like, if you commit a crime, we're going to sew your mouth to another man's ball. like
the human centipede. Yes.
I bet crime drops.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. I watched both those movies. Human Centipede 1 and 2.
Oof.
They're awful.
You watching both too?
Yes. They're awful.
I've never seen a second of either video.
Somebody told me about
weird,
them,
man.
And I was like, I gotta watch this. Somebody's mouth is sewn to another person's butthole. Gotta see it.
And the dude even draws a diagram of how the food enters the first person and goes out the last.
Awful.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
But I bet if you made that a punishment for crime's gonna drop.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Especially murder.
If you're sentenced to 2 years of the middle of the centipede, you're gonna not do the crime.
Yeah. Who gets the first one though? Like, who's the guy?
That's the lucky one.
Yeah, because he gets to taste food, not the other.
Yeah.
But I think you have to keep switching it. Like, we'll add one to the back, add one to the front, add one to the back, add one to the front. So nobody really has a good time.
This episode's gone off the rails.
Yes.
I'm just saying that we need to come up with something to deter criminals.
Right. I agree.
That would work.
And us saying, well, we'll put you on death row for 30 years. Or if it's in California, we'll put you on death row. But there's no death row.
We did away with it.
Because we did away with it. Man, crime's getting out of hand lately.
Oh, it
It
is.
is. Look at the murder rate.
Murder
in the
rate
United
is...
States.
It's up there. Yeah.
It's high.
Well, you also have quarantine, too, that
Right.
people just go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why you can vote for us in the upcoming election. For the human centipede.
Human centipede bill.
Yeah. But that is the story of Thomas Overton.
Good deal.
Yep, he was guilty.
I liked it.
What you got?
I have a question.
Really?
I do.
I have an answer. Hopefully.
Maybe. This is from Sally. Sally wants to know what true crime story is the one that inspired you to get into the true crime business.
Ooh.
What's one story that just sticks with you? Just sticks with you.
I have an answer.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Actually, I have two answers, so I'm kind of breaking the rules already.
Rebel.
And the reason is the first case I can remember that really made me think like, man, I want to know what happened. And to this day, I still do. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's got their theory on this one, but the John Benet Ramsey case. Was my first taste of, who done it. Like, and that's one of those crimes, and it's horrific. If you've ever looked into that one, it's definitely a high profile case.
Yep.
But I was pretty young when that all happened, so it wasn't like the case that I really dove into. Oh, I need to know. That one really got me into it. But the one, and I've said it before, the one that really bothers me, and I cannot, to this day, I can't not watch it. If there's a show or something that talks about this, I have to see it. And that is the West Memphis 3.
Oh, yeah.
To this day, I could debate and argue that case over and over and over. And everybody says that those guys are innocent. And I'm telling you, you cannot tell me that there was no connection at all with those boys.
Yeah.
Watch, Damien Eccles is going to hear this and sue us or something. If he does, at least come on the show first and debate me. Because I think you did it, dude. What do you got?
Well, what got me into true crime was a show that used to be on called I Almost Got Away With It. You guys ever see that?
Oh, yeah, I have.
And that got me into true crime. So I have so many, but a few of them like BTK and Bundy, those are my big ones.
Yeah.
That gets me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Those were some creeps.
they were
A little bit.
Both of them normal guys in society.
Yeah.
Not so normal behind closed doors.
And I'm talking about Ted Bundy, not Al. So
Al Bundy was a hero.
it was.
Mm-hmm.
He scored 3 or 4 touchdowns for Pope High?
He did.
Oh, that's a classic show.
Now, Bundy is a strange one because he was such a normal guy and, in the public's eye that he was never a suspect.
Right.
Now, BTK, once again, normal guy with a family. He got his wife. And he's a normal dude.
That's what's scary. There's people out there like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You may know some.
Yeah. About you, Rex?
I would say Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. No, I would say, I think one of the first ones I heard was the Zodiac. And I just remember being young thinking to myself, how this dude is so cryptic and he's like taunting the police and newspapers. And I just made me start digging into it and, seeing what the crime world was all about.
And we finally cracked.
Yeah, that was just, a couple months ago?
Yeah, finally cracked one of the codes.
Uh-huh.
Well, they think they've cracked one of the codes. So.
I mean, it sounds pretty good. I mean, just the computer program they had to write to get it to that point. It was impressive.
Yeah, and I've seen, and they say they're pretty sure that they cracked it, but they can't be 100% sure because there's misspelled words.
Yeah, and then I think a couple were out of place towards the end.
So, I mean, but everything else is lining up. So maybe one of these days we'll find out who the Zodiac Killer actually was.
That'd be nice.
That would be cool.
What if he's still alive? That would be the catch.
It's possible.
In the 70s?
Yeah, he could still be alive.
So, yeah.
Could be. He could be. Right? So we're looking almost 50 years ago.
Yeah.
How old was he when he was killing?
Right.
We don't know.
Well, Sally, thanks for the question.
Yep, thanks.
I enjoyed it. And make sure you guys...
You can submit those on our page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or email us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Questions, comments,
tweet
email us.
How you do that, Rex?
What do you mean?
How do you hit us up if you got any questions, comments, or concerns?
The links are in the description, or you can email at eviltransgression@gmail.com.
Boom.
Patow. How do you sign up for Patreon?
You go to patreon.com/eviltransgressionpodcast, or you can go in our description to our link tree. You can find it on there.
Good deal.
Absolutely.
You can find all kinds of stuff on there, actually.
Yeah, you can.
Like our store.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Our Threadless store. Get you an Evil Transgression t-shirt to wear out in public where people say, "What is that?"
Yeah.
And you say, "Well, I'm kind of a sick individual."
And so are they.
But check us out.
Yep.
Join the Facebook.
Yep. So, you guys ready?
Yep. Let's end it.
So without further ado, thanks for joining us this week, Evil Mob. And until next week,
See ya.
See ya.
peace.